And without wasting time, Pastor Oyeshiji, the local government, I've already established in my intro, introduced by the Constitution, Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution. And of course, what the Constitution wants it to do is that that government will be the grassroots system of government. Then we'll now have the state. Then we'll now have the federal. But everybody, they will be talking and shouting Tinubu, Tinubu. Even the fetus in the womb is shouting Tinubu. Meanwhile, the people who live in a community and an area, they don't know the name of their chairman, not to talk of their councillor who is near to them. Why is it so, sir?
Well, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Even from your introduction, you said it is necessary for everybody to have knowledge of their local government area. Unfortunately, even we people who are in the local government area, they don't realize the importance of the election of their area. If you look at it, even the president, all these our politicians, they knew the importance of local government. Some of them, so that it doesn't get out of their hand, they don't want to conduct any election because they don't want the local government to slip out of their hand. But like the president is making many reformations about local government. But the unfortunate side is that those who are there, who are within that local government, they don't really understand. Our eyes are not open to see what is necessary. Like you said, if there is a problem on Little Colfet, they talk of Tinubu. If there is one problem somewhere, they talk of those who are the top, not knowing that the man in the local government area has been empowered, both financially and with the Constitution, to do one thing or the other within that area. But nobody called on them. But like the Voters Forum is doing, it should open our eyes that local government is very, very important. We are believing that as we are having this program, eyes of people will be opened. They will see the need to be interested, even to want to contest and to know who is contesting for that office, so that it will be easy for them to go.
I'm happy with what you just said now. To be interested.
To be interested
in those who are contesting.
Who are contesting.
I've monitored several local government elections, and in fact, it is worse. The performance and the participation of voters is even. Is there any word to use about from poor? Is there a word to use worse than poor? I don't think poorest can even be. So where I'm going,
believe it's necessary. It's like they don't believe it's necessary.
Let us remove the like.
It's always low turnout.
They believe it is not necessary. Yeah. They care less about the local government. Yeah. But that, again, I'll still hang on with you. Why is it that people care less about the local government, particularly the elections? The turnout very, very poor. Why, sir?
You know, I think they say they don't want black people to be so interested in something, just put it in a book. Mm-hmm. To me, it's like there is something that wants us not to know anything, and that make us to be uninterested. And once you don't know purpose of a particular thing, misuse is inevitable. So I think our eyes is not open. We didn't know at all that is where the power lies. That's where the power starts from, and we should be interested in who is our chairman, who is our councillor. It's very, very important. But like your question, why? In fact, we don't even know why we are not interested in something that will do us good. It's like you are not interested, your eye is not open to something that is going to do you good. But thank God for Voters Forum. that is opening our eyes now to see that this local government election is more than important.
Yes.
And we should treat it like that.
Before I forget, it seems you have okay then, yeah, it's another thing. Let me just quickly, let us hang on and continue with your Pastor Oyeshiji said. Yeah, go on. Go on.
I think, like you have said, I think part of the problem is that the people themselves are alienated, from really participating in the local government elections. The people themselves, by the time they find out that their welfare, is not guaranteed. By the time they find out that, like I said the other time, when they go for an election, the person that they voted for is not the person that comes out to win the election. They become withdrawn. And that is why most of the times you find out that the local government election, there is always a low turnout. So I think the main issue is to continue to conscientize the people, continue to let them know that the local government election, in fact, is the fundamental. Because it is that local government election, from the local government election, that is where you even get the grassroots democracy that you want. Grassroots democracy participation. In fact, all the people that you even find in the federal, even most of them in the state, they take their route from the local government.
Obviously now, all politics is local.
It is local.
So there is nobody who goes up who does not have his foundation from the local government. That's that. I mean, all of them, you see all these politicians, even for them to get anything done anywhere, even for them to be nominated for whatever post and office, even national office, they must have their chairman, the ward chairman, endorsing and approving the application. That was the whole chairman of APC then, Adams Oshiomhole, to be recalled. Not by any other group, but by his local, by his ward. Exactly. So, and of course, that ward is the cocoa, the local. So, as a journalist, and not just ordinary journalist, as a senior journalist and an editor, I would just want you maybe to relate with us your own experience about people's perception of local government.
Mr. Wale, I have covered so many elections. I can't remember. I have been in this profession for so many years. In fact, since I left the university, I don't think I have done something else. Aside from,
you didn't sell rice.
No, I didn't. No, okay, I did.
No. What is it that the Igbo man likes selling?
Is it spare parts or spare parts or spare parts?
Spare parts.
Exactly.
You didn't do any of that.
No, I don't think.
Business was journalism.
It's journalism.
So you're around and we are gone.
But I sometimes there was a time I also veered off. I can still recall now because there was a time I was the personal assistant.
That one is part of it now.
So, no, it was not to a politician, but to Chief Alex Duduyemi.
That one is part
of it. I was with him for almost 8 years. Okay. So I left. But even in that place, I was still in the press job.
You'll be involved in
yes, I have been. Of course, when I was in time when this present president, when he was a governor in Lagos State, I was a correspondent in Alausa then. So I was among the Lagos State correspondents. I think they have changed the nomenclature. So I've monitored so many elections. What I have found out is that the turnout is always very low. And part of the problem is that even the people themselves, the voters, don't even know that the local government election is very, very critical. Yes. I know our politicians too are too manipulative and too sensitive. They will also, make it in such a way that they even discourage them not to also participate. Yes. So, they will discourage you, but they themselves, they know exactly the importance of the local government.
We won't put that under the principle of the few the merrier or the few the better. Exactly. The few people who come to vote, the better for us.
Exactly. That is the way they do it, because they will do it in such a way that the majority that may not vote for them, they make sure that they discourage you not to come on that election day, so that and when the few vote. It's just like the election we have been having. Yes. You find out we have how many, they will say 60 million, at the end of the day, 13 million.
I'm sorry to cut in. You just brought something out from my brain. Fortunately, again, this is your area. That's why I may concentrate on you. towards local government elections? Zero. Zero. At worst, it is the eve of that day of election that you see them going in trickles.
Yeah.
Unlike the other elections that at least you see on television, you see in papers, and you see billboards, in fact, lavish billboards, and sometimes if you are walking on the street, they may even paste your face with with posters.
Exactly.
I'm sure, because that time, particularly when it's the governorship, any corner, any corner, you see the posters of all these politicians. But when it comes to local government, you hardly see. What is the outcome of your little knowledge?
I think what we need is to, how do I put it, is to conscientize the people, is to give the people more political education, like what your forum is doing. Well, I know I have met you in some states during local government election when your group normally covers election. I think what we need to do is to continue to, how do I say, is it to
continue to educate.
To educate the people, you know, on the need. That's just the thing. Let there be massive political education on it. And when they know that it is even that election that confers legitimacy.
Yes.
You know, it is that election that confers legitimacy. Because if you know, there is nothing that offends the sensitivity of governments when you regard them as illegitimate.
Yes.
It pains them.
Yes.
So because it is that election, that those people's vote that gives them legitimacy, you know, that gives them the authority, you know, to continue to work for them.
Yes.
So people must continue to be conscientized. You know, we have to continue to give them strong, in fact, improve or up the political education on the people, so that the people exactly know their rights. Part of our problem is that the people don't know their rights. And sometimes, of course, you know, we have very crafty politicians. They also know the importance.
Yes.
And they will also know how to discourage the people,
yes,
so that they will not come for those elections, so that they can do their manipulations and put who they want to.
Talking about rights, sir, Pastor, is it that the people don't know their rights, or they are just careless because it's a local, be involved in local election, some elements of ego or pride, or just carelessness or nonchalant? Which one do we put in our hands on?
And there are both in the class of ignorance. There are some in the class of ego. So it's broken into various segments, and there are those that are discouraged because of the manipulations of the politician, or because of the political class. So all those things are involved, because if you know, you are aware, your eye is open to something that will help you, do all within your power to get that thing. But once your eye is not open, you may not know what to do. You don't know the value of it. But this local government election or local government governance is very, very important. It's good also, like he said, that this awareness, the one that you are doing, or the one we are doing now, it should open the eye of people. You should be able to know who is your local government chairman, what he's doing, and what he's hoping to do. Because at times, selfishness in the life of people make it difficult for us to be able to talk to the local government. Because the only time you go there is when your child is in need, when you are marrying a new wife, when you want to do burials. It is that time you know that you have a local government chairman. It shouldn't be so. We should know that he is there to take proper care of us. He is the one having responsibility to work for us, to take care of us within our area. And once we are taking care of our area, the governor will have less to do. Thank God now that their money goes straight to them. I think with that one, we should all know that local government is very important, and we should do all within our possible that we make them responsible and accountable for what they are supposed to do. I think that one will help us.
I still stay with you, sir, because I know that when we were very young, the local government was very strong,
Very.
particularly during the First Republic. And we saw the activities of people or organizations or agencies like the sanitation people, dispensary, and the PWD, this works department, fixing up holes and so on. Not to talk of those who go around to ensuring that the market particularly is clean. But today, go to any market, it is filthy, it's something is something else. Then of course the roads, the local roads, they are far. The rains are back now. Not only will cars be dirty, but of course the shock absorber will be, will be getting off regularly. Then the one that seriously disturbs me is the issue of dispensary and health facility, local health facility, healthcare. People, I mean, either one have a seizure, one has one attack or the other, either convulsion or whatever. Not to talk of giving birth to child. I mean, in labor, a woman in labor. Those things don't give notice. They come just like that. So, and you find out in some communities that they have to come to as far as the capital city to access medical attention. You want to go on, sir? That's my question. Why? Why? That this thing has eroded and gone off.
This one that you are seeing is also opening my own personal eye. That in those days, much is not laid upon the governor. But it is the political class that cleverly take away all these things. Either by budgeting or wanting. Even schools. We have local government school. That was what we have at the beginning. The local government school. In fact, our is local government social school. That's so it.
I attended. I'm sure. I hope you are not a witch or a wizard, because I attended a local education authority primary school,
and everything is under.
I didn't go to a private school, sir.
It's under the local government. I don't know how it now happened that we now take everything that they even talk about our primary school in Abuja. So it's like we are by our own architects, we are actually destroying the local government. The other day when we were here on this platform, we were thanking God for President Tinubu for at least for this reformation about local government, that their money should go to them. I think with this one now, our eyes should be open. So because if all those things in those days they were doing, and they were doing it well, if there is problem along the road, they go to local government, the PWD, they carry stones, carry everything to go and make sure that it's properly done. But it is commissioners that are running in the market now, seeing how dirty the market is. We are not hearing the name of the local government. So we need to look into these things in another way. How can a commissioner be able to cover all the market? What is the councillor within that area? What is the chairman? What is he doing? So, in fact, our eyes should be open now, and we should do what is right. And I think that one will help us to be able to handle our local government elections seriously. That this thing belongs to us, and if we do it well, it will help us. It will make things to work properly within our local government environs.
I had the opportunity.
You know, when someone is in Tanzania, only penny they buy bread that time.
Yes, no.
Now you know you buy bread with more than 1,000 naira.
And that one, only you will finish it.
So don't go near that thousand.
See,
even millionaire anytime from now, you become useless because you just take $1 million to somewhere and buy something and that's all.
And you will carry it with your hand and you leave the place. But I've had the opportunity of being in the houses,
Yes.
you know, of some of our statesmen that were sometimes governors.
Yes.
I've had the opportunity of being in the house of Chief Alex Ekweme,
Okay.
the former vice president. I know how little the house is. Chief Samuel Mbakwe in Imo State. I have been to his house. In fact, it's just that the compound is a little bit wide. Just a very little portable house. I think it was even the son that was putting up one little story or so in front of the house. That is Alex, the son. Even this Keom Badiwe, the one they say man of timber and caliber, I think it's one story, very small. If you see where I've been, Agu Ironsi, that was the president of this country. I know his house in Umuahia, and I've been there. His son was once, I think, an ambassador or so. If you see the house, and I was not even sure that he even built a house. It was just very little family house. So what am I saying? I think part of the problem we're having now is greed. And aside from greed, you know, you pointed something while there are some low turnout in election. Why wouldn't there be low turnout when the politician will unleash the attack dogs? And there is violence. By the time they know that, in fact, I remember the last election that we voted, people that did not vote for certain political party, they were not, in fact, by the time you come around that place, they will tell you, please, leave this place. And by the time you see those boys and see the way they are looking, you don't need a ghost to tell you to leave the place. So some people that have not even come out, they will send signals, say, please don't come out. So when there is now violence injected in the system, there's no way people will come. But what I'm saying is, in essence, that despite what is happening, we will continue to mobilize the people. You know, continue to tell them. It's just like the gospel of Christ. Yeah. Some people that did not believe. I remember in my village, there was some bush. In my village 30 years ago, nobody was entering the bush.
Yes.
Even you see a big antelope there, if it comes out from that bush, you won't kill it. People were afraid of it. But if you go there now, some of those places, we have built churches there.
Yes.
And the places has opened up. So I know by the time we continue to, you know, sing the song, you know, continue to mobilize people, continue to conscientize them. After some time, even the politicians will now know that the people are wiser.
Yes, we are not deterred. We are not tired. You can be sure that our own mandate, Voters Forum and Voters Awareness Initiative, is the sustenance of democratic structures and principles and ideals. And that's why we are here. Just as my brother just said now, we are not deterred. We have laid our hands on the plow. We are not going to look back. And as we say in the Aluta world, Aluta continua, Victoria asata. We will get it to that level where democracy will be practiced the way it's practiced in other climes. We will get there. We are not deterred at all. All we know is that we will continue, and until we get there, we will not leave. It's just the principle of no retreat, no surrender. So don't worry, we are not deterred. You that are deaf, your ears will open because we'll continue to drum it out that this is a good thing to do. This is the right path to follow. Because without it, life will be difficult. Those who manage our lives, if we are not involved with the affairs, they will continue to mismanage it. So it's in your interest that you are involved in the management of our lives collectively. Don't go away. We want to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be on a home stretch. You're welcome back. The program is Voters Forum. I'm Wale Ogunade, your host. And of course, we still have in the studio two great gentlemen. You know, I told you at the beginning that they have a lot, and they were selected especially for this topic because of their in-depth knowledge about the topic. And I'll go back now to our brother, the editor, Mr. Dan Kanu, the original Dan Kanu. Mine is that the local governments have been given that autonomy now. Money has been going to their pockets directly. Why is it that we are not seeing the effect of that on ground vis-a-vis the aspect of accountability?
I think while a part of the problem is because when you are talking of accountability, it's just because the people themselves have not started asking questions. When the people start asking questions, the people that are handling the clutches of power, those people in leadership authority, they will have no choice than to begin to be accountable to the people. I think that is part of that is the issue. In fact, let me tell you, I even commend the Southwest. Even when we talk of this local government election, in fact, I commend the Southwest on how sensitive and how mobilized. Because I find that you see farmers, you see tailors, you see that is all the artisans. You see them carrying their placards to government house Alausa to demonstrate. The last time these people had problem, Owode spare parts dealers, they were in Alausa, thousands of them at Lagos Assembly. This type of thing, I don't even see it even in the Southeast where I come from. You see a Southwest professor, a professor in the university, writing, what do you call it?
Petition?
Writing petition and following it up, going to court, going to you see people mobilizing themselves. Most of these things are not happening in the Southeast. And I'm sure it's not also happening even in the North. So those are part of the problem. Unless you begin to call for accountability.
Yes.
They will not give you that accountability.
Yes.
They will not be accountable to you.
Yes.
And also the people must know. Sometimes these people that are at the helm of affairs, they put up these shenanigans as if they are so tough.
Yes.
By the time you know that they are not tough, by the time you know that the little noise you make, the little protest you make affects them, the more we will know that we should increase our Luther tempo. Because unless you continue to challenge, most of those their misdeeds, they will not sit up.
Pastor Isheji, to me, the element of docility, the idea of docility, that spirit of let it just be, we don't want to rock the boat, is very prevalent in some places. Should it continue? Because not rocking the boat, being docile or careless or don't look as we normally see, has really done the system bad. And my problem is that some people are now feeding fat on the careless attitude of majority. And what do I mean? The budget will be rolled out, it will be approved, nobody follows up. At the end of the day, the year is gone, that money is gone, and people are still languishing in poverty. A budget will make provisions for roads, make provisions for empowerment. Empowerment in terms of supporting families, supporting graduates, creating job employment opportunities. And there are so many ways of creating job opportunities, sir. Setting up markets, setting up trade centers, setting up vocational institutions, setting up farm settlement. If I have that issue of farm settlement, that one can go far and wide. Farm settlement. And how much does it cost to set up a farm settlement? Maybe get 20 or 50 youths, go to a farmland, set it up, create the place for them, and form a cooperative. And how much does it play? How much will they spend to build a hamlet for them? Give them a small generator. All these things can be up to 500,000 naira. And of course, for 50 people, we are talking of less than 25 million.
Exactly.
Which is nothing. And of course, those ones are happy. They are busy. Let me give you my example. When I left secondary school, I guess secondary school after my A-levels, Babangida came with that Wayo D-Free. That all of us should go back to farm. My grandfather has a large farmland. And of course, because of, I just believed in government, I went there. The local government near that farmland was Ogbere local government. I went to the local government, left Lagos, went to the local government, getting there, sir. They were told that there is nothing. The thing, as they say it, the government was still in Lagos then, the headquarters, federal government was still in Lagos, that they have not heard anything. Trust me, I struggled. I went to the DFRI office. I guess it was somewhere in Tafawa Balewa Square. I went there to see the Larry Konya man that was made the chairman. He just said, "Oh, God, a young man, I like your
zeal."
Were you there with me?
You are quest for knowledge.
No, not quest for knowledge. The first time you said zeal.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And I wanted to become a farmer. Because as a Yoruba man, we are told that the farmer is the king. Yeah. That's indoctrination. Yes. So when the government came with that idea, I was into it. Went to my local government, and I okay, maybe the Nova government make me do something. And here we are, till today. And don't forget, before then, Obasanjo lost Operation Feed the Nation. Sir, why is it that all these things are like this now? This thing is agitating. And are there no people that can move it up? Maybe, well, I was the only one for me. When I went there, I wasn't this wise anyway. Maybe I'll just mobilize, we'll do a little thing.
Like he said, in the Southwest, we even speak out. Chief Bola Ige said, we are not like other people. I think it was Chief Awolowo that said that other people, you can gather them together, even tell them to go and fight. They will not ask you questions. You can't do that one in the Southwest. If you gather 50 people, you will see one who will raise hand or say, Oga, this thing that you are asking us to do, we want to get details. But the Southern leaders, some of them also for selfish end, they know how to subdue all these opinions and to bring it into subjection. And I also think the way we have our federal republic, you know, the way they behave in some other part of the country, it's not like we behave here. But those who come from other part of the country, the idea which they use in ruling them over there, one way or the other, is transferred into our own part of the country. There are people where they don't ask questions. Everything they just say, now God bring them, now God do them. We will do ask questions. And it is this asking question that make us to be different to animal. Because you can carry 50 cows and one single person can be in the front is taking them there. That is the only difference. If you carry 20 Southerners, they will ask, where are we actually going? Where are we actually going? So it's good that we keep on talking like this, like we are saying it now. It throws some things into their heart, seeing that they want to know what we are doing. But it's like, instead of politicians or political party becoming a political party, they are also becoming like a cult, whereby there are things they discuss outside, there are things they do inside, outside. That's why the man who is talking about DFRI, he himself said, I beg. Because openly they say, this thing is good, this thing, and they set aside money. But before they finish, some people begin to cut out of the money and putting it in their pocket. And everything comes to an end. So like we are saying now, things are changing. You know, in the days of our own fathers, things was worse. In our own days, these are our children that we are bringing up now. They will box a particular chairman, we never forget it. They will ask him questions. They will tell him, show him his own profile, how he started. So I think gradually, we are going to get there. But even now, let's begin to ask questions. And those in power, don't let them think that they are all in all. They are never all in all. They are to give a report and to give account of what is going on. So why we are not doing all this, not that those things are dying down. Sometimes people has a way of subduing a better opinion, like we are talking about attack dogs. It's when some people are talking, you now look for a way to silence them. Sometimes they get them arrested. You see, sometimes you hear some things, you are worried. Because I even start to wonder sometimes how our these military services or those who arrest do want to know. You hear that somebody says something, you didn't find out, it's like kidnapping. They kidnap the person to go and put so that, and once you are doing that, you are trying to silence people with the force, with the government, with the force of arm, and people will not be talking again. So in all those, as we are talking like this, let's also the government know that it is better for them that people speak out. They should stop subduing better opinions, better ideas.
No, better opinion, talking about better opinion. Editor of the original Dankano, let's now go on the homeward stretch, but let us see how we can profile solution to this issue of local government problems. You see, the other day I was in, I can't remember, I want to think particularly it was in Ohio, in America, in Ohio itself, and an incident happened. A man was driving his vehicle, and of course he observed that the people who carried refuse, the refuse van was left a house without picking the refuse in that house, because to all intents he wants to short pay those people. He drove after them, stopped them, and insisted that they go back. Unfortunately, it happened right in front of me, because I'm a visitor. I don't get any work to do. So I was strolling around. So legal, typical Nigerian idea, I took there. Other people were walking, going for, you know how the Europeans were walking. But me, I don't get anything to do. I don't see cheap film. And I stood, and I was watching them. The way they would talk, they are speaking slangs to each other. Along the line, they you know how they would talk now, using this foul language. They were abusing themselves, and which it won't be fair for me to be saying here. Those truck people that they pack things, they went back and picked that refuse bin, dropped it. Of course, it's a machine. They touched the thing came out. That's the thing that will pack it, and it's a machine thing. Why didn't they want to pick it? They just got there, hook it in, it picked it up, turned it round, and dropped it. Not until those people finished that assignment, the man who blocked their car did not go. And unfortunately, 2 other people came. He told them what happened. Of course, they started yelling on them, and they now even said that they are going to ensure that the mayor or the council or county manager is aware, and that he should cancel their contract. I don't think that can ever happen in Nigeria. One, you or me, well, I'm a little bit busybodied, but maybe you see such a thing, you just drive away and then sabi, even make them no parking thing in sabi. It's not his own house, so he's somebody's, but you see that you must pick, and that's your responsibility. Why is it so, sir?
But well, it's because these are societies where the institutions function very well. Okay. Societies where the institutions function, because the motorman, the people that are carrying refuse, knows that if this man goes to court, that he will get victory. Yes. The verdict will be against them. In fact, they will go to jail. But when you come in our own, where individuals are like institutions, that's strong a problem. Men. Yeah, they are strong men. When you know that of course, do you think that if I go back to my local government now, and the local government chairman now, maybe I'm driving on the road, and the man is yelling at me within that area, I can't even respond, because even before you respond, his boys will carry you up. Yes. And where they will hide you, it's only God that can save you. And where the thing is even very sad is people will be passing. They may be beating you.
That's my problem.
The people will be passing.
They don't care?
Yes. I remember during the election, I went to a particular polling booth. Some people complained. Some people complained, and they were saying that they were not allowed to vote because, particular political party was taking control of that place. In fact, before I could even ask the guy, if you see how the guy told me, say, Ebo, see, you know, if I don't live here in the next 1 second, before I could know, even carry the bottle. I don't need anybody to tell me to just respect myself. Because if you die there, you die on duty.
Just duty.
You die on duty. You will just find at one side of the newspaper journalists more than the line of duty. Nobody takes care of my children. Nobody takes care. So that is the problem. Those are the places where the law works. You know, we find out the law. Of course, you know your symbol. Where with the eyes covered, it doesn't know anybody. You know, but here the law knows people.
Now how they think they do
work. Now to know who it is.
If you see you are an influential man.
Exactly. So those are part of the problem. But the issue is that our politicians should also know. You know, like Delegiwa wrote one time, he said, life is like a musical chair.
Yes.
At one time you sit on it.
Yes.
There is nothing that is permanent in life.
Yes, that's
you know, like James 4:14. You were just like a bubble. So by the time they know, let them go and know a lot of influential people that were everywhere. Before. And when they left, what remained of them? Yes. So until they know that, you know, that their stay in life is for the public good, to serve the people. Let them learn that lesson. If not,
Pastor Oyeshejui, in rounding up, what are your advice now to the voters? The elections, particularly in Lagos State, is round the corner. There are several things to do. They can't just go out there and say on election day that they want to vote. I can't remember. Maybe the window is still there, but of course their voters card is fundamental for them to know where to vote, and so on and so forth. But mine is that the question is that what are the voters supposed to do now, despite with all we have said now, having sensitized them, what are they supposed to do? Are they to sit down carelessly now, or still want to be involved by going out on election day, vote, and of course ensuring that their vote counts?
It's advisable that they go and vote. That's the voters. But we also want to advise the political class. The idea of stationing thugs in various polling booths to bully people, to behave somehow, you know, it's God that will help us in this country. Yes. We want to vote, you gather some people, you buy dangerous things for them to drink, you give them dangerous things to hold and to go there. Do you do that one to your children? You don't. So we want voters to go to see that this is important. We want to beg those who are in authority, the political class, even if you force yourself to be there, God will force you out. And there will be peace in our country.
Indeed, there will be peace in our country.
There will be peace.
And that's what we want. And that's what this program is all about. Peace in this country. Through our own cooperation, understanding, and involvement. That is all what democracy is all about. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's the schoolboy's definition of democracy. And that's what we want it to be in this country, as it has been in other climes. Some of us have traveled out of this country. We have seen how democratic institutions work. And we expect that such should be in this country. You work, you receive your pay, the money is budgeted for something, the thing is done. Not that a budget is made, and of course the money does not, we don't see the effect. But be that as it may, that is our own lot and our talk and the show for today. I am Wale Ogunade. I want to thank you for staying with us till the end of the program. I really want to thank our guests,